Hey ladies, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about another feminine energy killer, something that like an energy and a vibe and things that really kill masculinity in men. And that is when you want to be his therapist, his psychologist. So what prompted me to do this video? Well, actually, it's one of the most common issues that I get in my practice, right? But let me talk about a recent one. So, you know how it is very much in fashion? It's a trend to talk about attachment styles. Okay? So somebody was commenting, oh, the attachment styles, right? So all of that information is meant to be for you, for your own inner work, for your own introspection, for your own knowledge of your own self, how you react to different, scenarios in relationships. Okay. And let me just say a big disclaimer out here. In marriage, because everything that I teach you has kind of like the road towards marriage and what happens in marriage. When I say marriage, it's like the evolution of the relationship. Okay. So without going on a big tangent, everything I teach you revolves around the long term. Okay. So when you're married, after the honeymoon, what happens is that you will start kind of triggering each other, and all the inner work, all the maybe unhealed issues that one or you may or may not have start to come out. That's when the problems start to come out. They're not really problems, but they are inner work that you have to do, awareness that has to come through from you, from him, right? So with that being said, the inner work that happens within the safe container of divine union, aka marriage, is one thing. So you and your husband talking about things and issues, and you knowing a bit of his past and knowing kind of where he comes from, even his attachment style, if you will, right, to understand him a bit more. Sure. When all of that happens within the safe container of marriage, because when you're not in that, when you're just seeing a person who doesn't know that you are the one for them, they don't know that they want you as a life partner, you don't know that you want them as a life partner. So when you're in that type of situationship, or if you want to call it relationship, go for it, but a relationship is when both of you are all in, fully committed, aka engaged or married. So you're not in a marriage, but you're seeing someone and you're wanting to be his psychologist, you're wanting to be his therapist, and you start talking about his attachment style, why he pulled away from you, because he has an avoidant attachment style. So one of my clients many years ago, back in the day, she was having all these issues with this man she just met, and her besties were saying, oh, he doesn't know how to love. He has an avoidant attachment style. He doesn't know how to love. Girl, no. I mean, obviously, this was your classic situation of like, okay, she had sex with the guy, and now the guy is being a jerk and using her for sex, aka. Okay, that's what's going on. But there you had this girl trying to figure out his childhood trauma, figure out, and mind you, you do want to know the background of whoever it is you're dating. But when you see someone dysfunctional, someone that is not treating you right, it's not your job to fix him, to be his psychologist, to help him. So this video is kind of like a segue, like a part 2 of kind of that video that I made about, helping men. This is part of that. You wanting to be his psychologist, the whole thing with attachment styles, like wanting to psychoanalyze him. So again, you want to know where this man comes from, but if he's showing that he's he's dysfunctional, he misbehaves, he's not really into you, like if he's off to wherever he is. This guy that I have in mind, he from the client back then, he told this girl that he was having a phone detox when all he does is be in social media, and this guy's addicted to his phone. And there you had her like listening to the friend who was saying, oh, he doesn't know how to love because he had a bad childhood. I'm like, so don't get caught up in trying to psychoanalyze a man, okay? Even though, again, I just made a video that says that a red flag you need to look out for is, does this man come from a broken home? Does he have childhood trauma? So you knowing that doesn't mean that you should be, his therapist, him talking about his ex and all the things she did to him, or any other form of psychoanalysis, or you wanting to be a psychologist. Because let me tell you something, man wants to marry, be with a feminine energy woman. So when you are doing therapist, it's a bit of a mommy vibe, mommy energy kind of thing. And mommy energy, that kind of stuff, is masculine energy. So you are decreasing polarity by becoming more masculine, becoming his container, his guide, right? So the masculine provides a container, the guidance, the structure, okay, which is what a psychologist, a therapist does. You see? So don't get caught up in like he doesn't know how to love or any of that stuff, because you're becoming his mommy and his therapist and all that, which is a masculine container for a man. So this is not the place and time for your masculine energy within a romantic relationship in that capacity. So that's kind of it for now, ladies. If you are into and want to read all of that stuff of attachment styles, like, do it for you. Do it to know yourself, to know how you react. But this is not something that really matters in dating, because that's kind of more profound. And when you're dating, there's a lot of lightheartedness that has to come into play, that has to be the main energy. Psychoanalysis of each other, like trauma bonding, is not what you want to enter a healthy relationship. Trauma bonding, it's very common. I have seen it a lot in my practice, but you want to avoid that, because even though everybody has issues, everybody has some sort of trauma, it's a thing to have a scrape, it's a thing to have a little boo-boo, a little wound, but it's a different thing when you have this chunk of you removed from you and raw and wide open, where you are coming on whole to a relationship. And this is for you, for your own self. This, if you find yourself with all these issues that are unhealed, you need therapy. So a lot of women come to me for coaching, relationship coaching, where they want to get married and things. But if there's trauma, like abuse and just things, they need to be going to a therapist, a psychologist, okay, which they have a completely different angle than a coach. A therapist is to help you become whole. Okay, a coach is to help you reach your highest potential. Okay, so you can't enter the relationship realm when you are not whole. You need healing. And even if you're not 100% healed, so long you are at a much better place where you're whole, maybe you still have some, a bit of a raw scar, that type of thing, but you're more and more healed rather than unhealed. So you're not the healer of a man, you're not his healer, you're not his psychologist. You be the healer of yourself, and make sure you're coming whole to a relationship. And you can do your inner work together with a coach such as myself. But if you're dealing with trauma, or issues, mental health issues and trauma and abuse and things, you need to be seeing a therapist as well. And whoever this person is, if you're dating someone who has some serious issues, they need to be seeing a therapist too. They're not ready for a relationship. Okay. So ladies, that's it for now. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.